So it's an early start, it's 10 to 6 in the morning, and I'm on BBC Radio Leicester. So I just got to the car park and I actually had a bit more time, so I'll explain a little bit more as to what I'm doing. So I realised the intro was a little bit skew-iff. So this morning I'm on BBC Radio Leicester with Summaya and Jimmy doing the morning show. So I've got to be there at 6:30, so luckily I'm doing alright for time, so I can quickly record this. They've asked me to come in. They get in someone every day just to kind of review the papers, go through all the stories in the newspapers. And today is my go, so really looking forward to it. I'm going to try and film as much as I can in the studio and whatnot. I'm not too sure how much they'll allow me, so you could watch this video and it could only be a minute long, or you could watch it and it could be like 5 minutes long. Who knows what's going to happen, but I'm going to try and film as much as I can and I'll try and share it all with you. I've just realised that the car park's actually really eerie. There's no one else around. Oh, I can hear it in my footsteps.
Morning, Rob. I'm coming grab you now.
Thank you.
Madonna, Who's That Girl on BBC Radio Leicester. Morning, it's Jimmy and Summaya with you till 9 o'clock. It's Wednesday the 5th of February. It's just come up to 10 minutes to 7. It's now time to meet our news reviewer joining us for the next hour or so. And there's only one bit of music that I can use to introduce him. Good morning, Rob Spence.
What an intro, thanks so much.
Can you just explain why I played that music for you?
Where do I start? So, I guess several reasons. I used to be a butler in the buff. I am allowed to say that this time of the morning, aren't I?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's what you used to do. That's fair enough.
I'm not ashamed of my nakedness.
For anyone who doesn't know what butler in the buff is, just briefly explain.
Sure, yeah. So I'm one of those guys that would rock up at a party in just an apron. I was obviously invited. Like, it wasn't just a random thing I'd turn up and just...
No,
hey guys, I was invited, I was booked, I was there to look good, I was there to serve, I was there to party. So, yeah.
So what possessed you to do that?
Not gonna lie, it was a quarter-life crisis. I think I was 25, 26, and, I just needed some fun, excitement in my life. And I do remember, I sat there one night in my little bedroom like Harry Potter, just tucked away, talking to no one. And I just applied. I just thought, do you know what? What could make my life more exciting? I thought, I'm just gonna go get my kids off. And once the police released me, I then applied for butler in the buff. So, not really, that was a joke. I didn't get arrested for being naked.
And did it spice up your life? Was it as exciting?
It was, honestly. Like, people kind of worry when they ask me about it. Obviously, you guys don't worry, but a lot of people worry that I'm ashamed or embarrassed or, I should not talk about it. But it's one of the greatest times of my life. There were some parties where it was all wild and whatever. There was other times it was just quite chilled out, quite relaxed. It was great fun, a great mix.
But you haven't given up taking your kits off just yet, because you're going to do the full Monty, aren't you?
That's right. So, in November the 5th, myself and I think it's about 14 other guys were doing the full Monty at Bistro Live.
Hang on a minute, I didn't think there was 14 guys that got their kits off in the full Monty.
No,
this is only about 5.
Yeah, this is like XL standard.
Right,
I
think it's closer to like double XL.
This is taking it to the... We don't do things by halves in Leicester, do we?
So it's the full Monty times 3?
If that's the maths, yes, yeah. So yeah, it's just about So it's all innate. We're not just doing it just for the laughs. We're doing it for Hope Against Cancer. We're going to raise some good money, a good local Leicester charity, and it's just going to be a good laugh.
You mentioned having a quarter-life crisis at 25, which I've never heard of before, but I love that. I think that's a great idea.
What, to have a quarter-life crisis?
Well, that you don't just have a midlife crisis, you can have it at any age. So I'm wondering if anybody's 75 who's had a three-quarter life crisis.
Yeah, I think you should split it out a little bit. There's no point saving it all up and just going out in one bang.
Exactly. Now, also, I thought I recognised you. Didn't you once win the Leicester Mercury Baby of the Year competition?
I did. I'm so glad you remembered, because not many people did. My modelling career kind of took a bit of a nosedive after that achievement. So back in 1990, you may recognise me from the Leicester Mercury as being a nice cherub baby face with a beautiful smile.
Do they still do that competition? Because I used to love those baby competitions. You literally, all these really proud parents would enter their baby photos, and you just literally see like 2 or 3 pages in one edition where you'd have to look through. Have you been entered, Summaya?
I haven't, but my parents entered my brother, and he was really cute. I was an ugly baby. I look like E.T., that's my nickname with my family. They call me E.T. because I was just really ugly. However, my brother was really cute, and they ask you questions. Well, they did anyway, in the one that he entered. And they asked my brother, so what do you want to be when you're older? And he turned around and said, I want to be a donkey. he didn't get any further. Did they ask you? Oh, you wouldn't be able to remember, would you?
No, I probably just went...
Well, I don't think you said donkey because you made the cut. Do you know what I mean?
You actually do a lot for charity as well, don't you? You've raised a lot of money in the past, but not through taking your clothes off, but through cycling.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a keen cyclist. Well, I used to be a bit more. I think for me, I just want to help as many people as possible. So I've raised a lot of money for the Reality Youth Project over the time. So we've done loads of crazy cycling challenges. We've cycled from coast to coast. We wouldn't cycle, twice. The first time failed because I fell off and cracked my collarbone. But we also cycled from Countersthorpe to Canterbury in one go. So it was about 165 miles. So that was really good, tough going, to be fair. And
we've talked a lot about what you do away from your day-to-day work, but what do you actually do for a living?
I don't actually know half the time. I just make it all up. No, so I own a business, Paragon Sales Solutions. So we do a lot of sales and marketing for businesses. Once again, I think it stems from my desire and my willingness to help other people. I part-own Stones Events as well.
I love the fact you said that, by the way, because there's a lot of people that don't start with their why, the reason why they do something, and you've clearly stated that you just want to help people. And I suppose you feel that the best way you can do that is because of marketing and helping them for other people to find them.
Well, absolutely. I think for me, I speak to a lot of people just because I like to learn lots of things, and you meet so many people who have got a great product, a great service, a great design, whatever it is. And I just want to help them get that product to market.
So do you think you're a connector?
A connector, I like that word. I put myself down as a problem solver. Someone comes to me with a problem, I fix it.
Okay, well, I suppose that is the gist of marketing, isn't it? Now, Rob, before you go through the papers to give us your news review throughout the morning, we are going to see if you can give us the answer to today's question.
Which was this. Which well-known furniture company has confirmed to shut one of its stores for the first time in its 33-year history? Now, I gave you the clue of meatballs. Jimmy, what was your clue?
It's at the other end of the M69, leaving Leicestershire, going into Warwickshire.
Okay, a few of your messages. Shout out to Adele from Melton, who's got the answer correct. She's an early riser. David and Catherine in Barwell also getting the answer correct. Sue in Market Harborough. We've got Peter on Twitter, Wendy in Thurmaston, Joe in Cosby, and Tony on Saffron Lane. Rob, do you want to put us out our misery? What is the answer to this morning's question?
Well, guys, I'd like to believe it was IKEA.
You be spot on. Have you ever been there?
Of course I have. Only for the meatballs.
There you are, see. I think that's what everyone does, isn't it? Well, Rob, thank you so much for joining us. We'll let you go out and go through the papers. We'll catch up with you after 7 o'clock. And in the meantime, it's Jimmy and E.T. with you until 9 a.m. on BBC Radio Leicester. We've got to get all the jingles changed. You know that, don't you?
Thanks, Jimmy.
You said it. I didn't say it. You said it.
Jimmy and E.T. at breakfast, really? Goodness sake, the script now.
BBC Radio Leicester.
7:26 now, and time to introduce our news reviewer this morning. His name is Rob Spence, and we're playing this because he's taking part in a full Monty production in November to raise money for
Hope Against Cancer.
Okay, and you're doing this with how many other people?
I believe it is 14. 14 other guys. Hot guys.
Well, good luck with that. Right, we're going to go through the papers.
Way to sell it, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
Me included.
Producer Sophie said get on with it. So let's go through the papers. Right, front pages. What have you got there, Summaya?
Okay, so front of the Leicester Mercury is talking about the royal visit that's happening here in Leicester. Front of the Guardian is actually talking about coronavirus. Get out if you can. The warning of 30,000 Brits still in China. That's what I've got. What about you?
The Sun says Cameron cop left gun in JetBlue. David Cameron's police bodyguard sparked panic on a BA jumbo jet when he left his loaded Glock 19 semi-automatic pistol in the loo. The Hinckley Times has MP sceptical of huge rail freight hub. Rob, what have you seen?
Well, I've gone for the smaller, obscure stories that no one ever really pays attention to, but I like them. They put a smile on my face. But there's one that's really put a smile on my face this morning. So a big Leicestershire business, Morningside Pharmaceuticals, obviously CEO Dr. Nick Katecha, they've just donated loads of antibiotics. I'm going to try and pronounce it, and please don't laugh at me. Of course, listeners, if you want to call in and correct me, please do. I believe it's pronounced clarithromycin. Clarithromycin.
You know, if you just say it with purpose, which is what I tend to do most of the time, then it sounds
Bit
like
of
it's right.
confidence.
Yeah, just say it confidently.
Okay, so it's definitely clarithromycin. I was obviously just playing the fool.
I believe you.
But he's done it to treat 600 people at a hospital in Ekwendeni, central Malawi. I just think it's a great story, puts a smile on people's faces, and a really good thing to do.
What else have you seen, Rob?
So the second story is, did you guys try veganuary? Did you guys try dry January? Or
We kind of had a veganuary on the show here, where every time we found a vegan story, we would celebrate. That was the extent of it. Jimmy, you didn't do it, did you?
I kind of had a go at doing veganism, but it's back at the end of last year. I watched this thing on Netflix called Game Changers, and that's what kind of inspired me. It's actually started by a guy, Melt Mowbray, who now trains people in America in combat. Anyway, he did this massive documentary. I won't go into it now because I talked a lot about it when it came out, but that kind of prompted me to have a go. But I do love meat, so I still eat meat.
Yeah, well, the reason I bring it up is I tried dry January. It was going really, really well. I was doing a good effort. I mean, and then on the 2nd January, it just all fell apart. But anyway, that's by the by. But the reason I bring it up is meat substitute sales were 14% higher in this January than last year. And the sales of non-alcoholic beers surged to 37%. And I just like it because I think it recognises that as consumers, as people are kind of looking after ourselves a bit more, recognising what needs to be done for ourselves in the environment.
And your third and final quick story?
My third one, it's a bit of mischief. I love it. So it's been disputed a little bit by Google, but there's a German digital artist by the name of Simon Weckert. Now, what he did is he took 99 mobile phones, all linked to Google Maps. So when you're driving around, I'm guessing if you're stuck in the unfortunate mishap over at Troon Way, you'll see on your Google Maps it all turns to red and says you've got to divert, this kind of thing. He trundled 99 phones in a little cart behind him walking, just to create fake congestion in the centre of Germany. Just thought it was absolute genius.
So he's like the Banksy of the mobile phone artistic world.
I love a little rebel. I love a little mischief from time to time.
Rob, thank you so much. We'll join you just before 8 o'clock. Right now, though, it's 7:30.
It's 7:52 now, and joining us this morning is Rob Spence, founder of Paragon Sales Solutions. Hello.
Good morning.
Now, we're going to pick your brains on this electric car debate.
Yeah, absolutely.
But before we do, I want to get through a few messages and see what your take is on them. So we've had Anne get in touch saying electric cars are far too expensive to buy. How is National Grid going to cope with the demand? Then we've had Peter on Twitter saying, I'd buy an electric car today if it wasn't down to the cost. It's really ideal, but it's just too expensive to buy. And Eric in Salby is saying, I can't understand why garages don't have charging points and why they're in public charging spaces. Why is it that garages can't sort of have an electric charging point there? So what's your take on it?
Like I say, it's a tough one. And I know for me, personally, once again, I'd love an electric car for various reasons. A, it's cool. It's like Back to the Future, right? There's that coolness.
Well, a DeLorean.
That's what they are, right? No, I'm joking. Yeah. So we've got those. And then, of course, the environmental benefits are awesome as well. You know, even a hybrid, you step into an Uber half the time and all of a sudden they're silent, they're quiet, they're kind of... Obviously, the fuel efficiency is better. I'm really tight. I don't like paying for anything, let alone fuel. So I can see the benefits there. But once again, I have to sit on the side of the fence where they do just... The appearance... They are really, really expensive, and you know, you can look at the benefits where you're going to save money on fuel, and obviously all the benefits that thereafter. But that initial investment, and even down the routes of financing or loans or the things you can take out. Once again, personal level, I'm tight. I drive a Ford Focus I bought 10 years ago. Sure, it's held together with sellotape, bit of gaffer tape here and there, but it's taking that investment out originally.
And actually, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you're somebody who's had a car for years and years and years, maybe you don't do a lot of mileage. My granddad's that person. He's had the same car for years, and he hardly does any miles a year. But he's not going to want to give up his car because somebody turns around and says, hang on a minute, you've got to get an electric vehicle.
Yeah, absolutely. It is down to that whole recycling thing. There's no point getting rid of what you've got originally. I'll be honest, when my car does fall apart, which could be on the way home, not going to lie, I would look at an electric car. Whether I can afford to do so is a different story.
Well, we'd love to hear from you. Give us a call, 0808 100 1049. If you haven't got an electric car, what's stopping you from buying one? Now, Rob's going to help us go through some of the papers this morning. But before you do, headline of the Leicester Mercury is talking about the Royals visiting Leicester. And the front of the Times is going for surgeons, 11,000 patients face checks. Women operated by Ian Patterson are recalled. It's condemning a culture of avoidance and denial. That's what the Times is leading with. Jimmy, what have you got?
Well, on the front of the Daily Mail, there's a picture of the MP Tracy Bravin, who was a Coronation Street actress, and it's a photo of her wearing a black dress. It's one bit coming off the shoulder. It says, "Did MP's daring dress really deserve a Commons commotion?" I don't know if you've heard about this, but it has caused a bit of commotion because people are saying that she hadn't really ought to be wearing a top like that in the Commons. How would you describe that, Summaya, that dress that Tracy's wearing?
Off shoulder, but not the sort of off shoulder which is like you've got about a centimetre of both sides revealed. It's probably closer to, it's down to her armpit.
Apparently it's called a Bardot.
Oh, right.
I had no idea it was called a Bardot.
Well, I didn't know it was
Jimmy,
called a Bardot, so you asked the wrong person. But basically, her armpit's out.
Well, she's responded to the criticism that she's worn this in the Commons by tweeting saying, "Hello, sorry, I don't have time to reply to all of you commenting on this, but I can confirm I'm not a slag, hungover, a tart, about to breastfeed, a slapper, drunk, just been over a wheelie bin. Who knew people could get so emotional over a shoulder?" And then she's just put sort of a smirky emoji face. What do you think, Rob?
It's funny. I was going to bring this story in as one of mine, but I'm glad I didn't. But to me, I don't know about you guys. I don't really care what anyone wears, to be honest.
Well, you don't, because you take your clothes off at parties.
That's exactly why. Yeah, but the way someone works and the way they operates doesn't relate to what they wear. So I think it's a big load of fuss over nothing, really.
We could go on and talk about what J-Lo and Shakira were wearing and dancing like at the Super Bowl at half-time, but we won't go there. What have you seen? Well,
so once again, I've gone for the kind of more obscure stories that I like to find. Now, everyone knows Slade, right? The Brummie band, the Birmingham band. We all know their big hit, Merry Christmas, Everybody. I actually learned today they share £1 million in royalties every year.
Yeah.
Which is enough to buy a lot of electric cars, let's face it.
It's why absolutely it is.
I know what I'm recording this Christmas to make some money. Anyway, so their original drummer, Don Powell, was recently sacked by email. By email, Jimmy.
So they've been together for years,
yeah.
Absolute years, shared moments together, and that's like a relationship, isn't it? That's like when you've been together with someone that you think you know so well, and they tell you over text.
Absolutely,
that's the band equivalent, isn't it? But over email.
Absolutely, it must be. To be fair, it must be heartbreaking. However, there is now a rock and roll feud going on
over email.
Most likely.
Reply all.
Over email, yeah.
You don't think by any chance, though, that like Noddy Holder or whoever sent the email meant to send it to someone else to say, shall we get rid of... and he'd been copied in by accident?
That would have been horrific, wouldn't it? No, but it looked like it was sent directly to him, so by the original lead guitarist, Dave Hill. So Powell was sacked. But, like I say, Don Powell, the rock and roll star that he is not taking it lightly. He's not sat down and just let it happen. He's set up his own band called Don Powell Slade, which is to rival the new Slade, which is called Dave Hill's Slade.
Yes, I don't get all this, because locally we have the South, don't we? Which were part of the Beautiful South, which was Paul Heaton and Jackie Abbott.
Okay.
So when everyone's together, it was the Beautiful South. When they split, you just had Paul Heaton and Jackie Abbott as one duo, and they were basically the voice behind the whole band. And then you've had the South, who I think they're based in Loughborough, if somebody will correct me, who've now go out and tour as a separate band. But it is a bit of a shame, isn't it, when that happens, because all people really want is people together. We heard about Liam and Noel yesterday. Liam wants to get back as Oasis, Noel doesn't. And that's all people really want, isn't it?
Absolutely. And, Slade, they are well known for that Christmas song, right? But I remember as a teenage boy, 11, 12, 13, whatever I was, hearing Come On Feel the Noise. It was a revelation. I had it on loud every day. The neighbours were complaining, but it was just pure rock and roll. I loved it.
OK, Rob, one quick headline before we go.
About Slade?
No, one more.
Oh, sorry, one more. Sorry, Sophie came out a good one. She said it was a Slade off. I love that. So I'm going to go a bit more serious, I guess. So there's actually a big kind of shortage in reading, so the literary poverty they've called it. So more than a third of 1 million primary school pupils read less than 15 minutes a week, which is a massive shame.
It is. So get reading to the kids, people. Right, it's coming up to 8 o'clock now here on BBC.
So I'm back at the office, and as you can probably tell by this video, I didn't really actually film much in the studio. Not because I don't think I wasn't allowed. It was just maybe just got caught in the moment. Just actually enjoyed being on the radio and talking to Jimmy and Summaya. Can I just say they were absolutely incredibly professional. They were always looking at something, always doing something. They were reacting to messages that came through. It was just really, really awesome to see, to be fair. So great experience. I've enjoyed listening to me waffle on about the news. As you can tell, I don't really know much what's going on in the world. But a great experience, and thanks so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and share it as far and wide as possible. Thank you so much. All the best.